everybody. This is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined. I am your host, Tristan, and always my co-host, Hassan.
That's me.
We bring you to an excellent, amazing, exciting match of football!
Which football?
You know, the non-American one.
Oh, thank God.
Like football.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So as you can see on your monitor, everybody's watching this, right? Okay, good. Down there, all the players running around doing their crazy football stuff, their shenanigans. Hassan, give us a play-by-play.
Tristan,
what's going on?
do you know how it just you're kind of talking about that like you maybe don't know how football works?
I know how it works. That guy's using his feet to run, and he's going to try and kick that guy in the face.
Not 100% wrong, I'll say that.
No, okay, good. And then once he kicks that guy in the face, he's going to steal the ball, and he's going to kick the ball into the crowd. Now here's the reason why he does this. He's going to kick the ball into the crowd, and what that's going to do is score him 10 points for the other team, because you want to stay at 0. And if the crowd catches the ball, there's a designated ball catcher in the crowd, and in every part of the stadium, and he's wearing a gold shirt. It's got to be a man. He's wearing a gold shirt with the nipples cut out. And when he catches the ball, he has to then yell, "Scummy, scummy boy, I'm a scummy boy," and throw it back to the player. And then the play resumes.
Yeah, so I think you might be thinking of Quidditch. That sounds like Quidditch rules to me.
No, it's not Quidditch. I know Quidditch. You got the Seeker, he flies around. There's the 3 rings. You get the Bludgers. They're throwing the ball with the broom stuff. That's not Quidditch. This is football. Obviously, do you know what football is?
Yeah.
It's football. Gold shirt guy with the nipples cut out. Fantastic. It's my favorite part of the game, honestly. And it's the plus 10. You score a goal in the net, then the game keeps going, and you gotta hope to God it ends sometime soon.
Yeah, so it's a little bit awkward, Tristan.
What?
Technically, we're not here to talk about football.
Oh, okay. Well, what we're here
to talk about the sport of gorotama from the cartoon Dragon Striker.
Gorotama?
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
Gorutama.
I bet it doesn't even have a single guy. I bet it doesn't even have a single guy with the nipples cut out of his shirt. That sounds stupid.
I don't think it does, so...
Yeah, well, fine. Tell me about Gorotama and Dragon Striker, Hassan. Made up bullshit world.
I love Dragon Striker. There is a lot about this show I think is fantastic. So it's it just came out in June of this year on Disney.
All right, interesting.
It is. It's interesting because I think this is the second or third show out of Disney where, even though it is very much being promoted as something from Disney, it's actually made by a French animation studio.
Ooh, okay.
La Chouette Compagnie.
Now you have my attention.
Yeah, so it's definitely anime inspired, both in visuals and I think even in just the way some of the show works. But this, along with there's actually another show, Doomies, I believe, is also
Doomies looks pretty good. Yeah.
French made. So I'm not sure exactly what's happened there. It seems like Disney has decided to and admittedly, France has a strong animation industry, but for some reason, recently Disney seems to really be like looking that way to get content for its cartoons and that.
I can see that.
And in this case, I feel like they struck gold. So the general premise of this show is that it is a fantasy world where some people have an ability called a tama, and it can be, or I shouldn't say it can be. It seems to be generally each person has their own mostly unique ability. It seems like perhaps certain families have powers that will basically be the same. So,
Okay.
but they have these powers, and so they use it to play this fantasy version of football called gorotama. It's definitely not the best thought out sport, I'll say. So
Sure.
unlike football, where they have 11 players on the pitch, in this sport you have a total of 5. So one is you would have one goalkeeper and then 4 other players.
Okay.
Which typically devolves into 2 forwards and 2 defenders.
Question. Is
yes.
the pitch smaller than a football pitch? Like shorter? I would have to assume.
So
with that few players.
Definitely no, because you can also go vertical with it. So for example,
that's even worse.
So for example, one of so in this show there are 5 teams total. One of the teams, they basically have this sort of like cage dome around their pitch. Okay. And because 2 of the players have these magnetic abilities, they can use that to basically run along the walls or the roof.
Interesting.
So
all right.
it expands. There are also characters that can basically use their powers to get up in the air and that. So I would say like unclear if the like size is smaller, but the area to play in, because it is more 3D. No, it ends up being larger. But getting into the sort of characters and the main story. So I will say primary character, although the show is pretty good at giving other characters plenty of attention, so he's kind of just barely the main character, is Key Nagatatsu. Key spelled K-E-Y.
Yep, all right.
And
sure.
He ends up going to the city with his father, who is a farmer. He is excited because there is a Gorotama stadium there. Sorry, it's Gorotama. And so he's excited because he wants to go see the game. His dad doesn't want him to. While he's just walking around the city, he then comes across this girl, Sayelle Tournefoy. Sayelle spelled Syelle. As I said, this is a French show, so they occasionally throw in just a hint of, hey, we're French, by the way.
Fair enough. But like, I'm also seeing one thing. They do not mind having some really wonky fantasy spelling and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen this in other French fantasy books, too, so like, this is good.
Yeah.
Already in.
But he runs across her as she's trying to practice, and they end up bonding because they both, love Gorotama, and they have this dream. Through some shenanigan mix-up, she ends up having to sub in as the goalkeeper for this game. And then this is where this does a thing that I really love when shows do this, and it gives you the unique powers that these various characters have. So Ciel has and most people's Tama will have a name. I forget what hers is called. I want to say it's called like time stop or something where she can basically create this sort of 3-dimensional bubble around her where she can just stop time, which, as you can imagine, as a goalkeeper,
broken as shit.
Really good.
Yeah.
To block goals.
Hey,
except
why was you so time? That's against the rules.
Yeah,
that's not actually. It's totally
they're up against, which is the Dragons, who are this really powerful team. They've got Garanthar, I forget how it's said, and his whole thing is he has this sort of, I don't know what to call it other than like dragon enhanced powers, and so he'll be like dragon leap, and it'll basically like smash his arms on the ground, and it'll allow him to jump 40 feet up in the air or whatever it is, and then it'll just be like dragon kick or whatever, and the power of the dragon will make the ball just so powerful that even if Sail tries to block it, it'll just push her back into the net, and they'll get
scoring a goal. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So while this is happening, he overhears that Ragnar is planning on using this attack that is borderline lethal, and he gets so worried he ends up running out onto, I don't know if I forget if it's called a pitch or what, but he just runs out into the field, and it triggers his ability. So up to this point, hasn't known he has a Tama. It triggers, basically destroys the field.
Ooh, okay.
And so what ends up happening is one of the coaches that was there, oh God, what is her name again? Noreen Segoy. She has some relation to his father, shows up at his house, and is like, no, he has to go to Cal Astaroth, which is this legendary school. We need to take him there and train his Tama.
Sure.
And so I'll talk more about the story characters and continue that. But one thing I want to pause there is, so next episode we get to Cal Astaroth, and I would say this is the point where a major weakness of this show starts to surface, which is that the world is not very well explored and defined. So, for example, people have these Tamas, but it seems to be that they only use it for the sport of gorotama.
Oh,
like that obviously doesn't make sense, right? People would obviously use it for war and for all sorts of other things, but it isn't like, okay. So I'll have to establish one of the things. So there are 5 teams total in Cal Astaroth. Okay. Yeah. 5 players each, plus some alternates or subs players, whatever you want to call it. So even if you said, 10 players on each team, that's still only 50 people.
Yeah.
There's a heck of a lot more than 50 students at this school. It doesn't explain what these other kids are doing at the school if they don't make the team, and what they're being,
just chilling,
educated on and trained to sort of or raised to do after, right? It's unclear of like, okay, is it you just go to Cal Astaroth to learn how to use your Tama, and then, hey, maybe you've got like a fire Tama, maybe you're going to use that for cooking or for blacksmithing or some other ability, right? It's unclear. It never gets into that. And then the other thing is the world itself. It's like, it's unclear of, is Cal Astaroth the only school that trains people on Tama, or is it just a school in this world? Is it, say, the only one in this nation, and then there are other nations with other schools? This show is kind of hyper focused on the characters and the main characters. So that being Key and CL, obviously, and then there are Milo and Oddward Stonegarden, and then Ameline. And those are the 5 players that make up the Knights.
Yeah.
They're our main characters. It's just kind of hyper-focused on them, hyper-focused on only giving you kind of information that is relevant to exploring their story, whether that is, you know, something personal or whether it is, you know, in the interest of the actual actions they are taking. This show really doesn't do a whole lot of telling you about the rest of the world. So that was definitely one that Cal Astrock seems cool. It's also, so this show, very much fantasy. It's a floating school in the sky.
Of course it is.
And yeah, and that's one of the things of watching this show is by episode 2, I was so in love with it because I was just going, man, they just don't make that many cartoons like this anymore where it's just, you know, weird fantasy. Just, oh yeah, we just wrote this thing because we thought it would be fun in this world. Stuff like,
yeah, sure.
You know, I'm thinking like Jackie Chan Adventures, Shaolin
Showdown.
Showdown.
Yeah, thank you.
What, Jake the American Dragon.
American Dragon, yes. Exactly, yes.
Like those kind of shows, it just feels like there's really not too many of those anymore.
Yeah.
And so having this where it just goes like, yeah, it's a cartoon about kids that go to this magical school that floats in the sky so that they can play sick-ass sport combat. Like, man, just this real, like, I don't know, we threw together, we threw some, like, darts at a dartboard, it hit certain words, and we went, that's our show, let's do it. Yeah, it's weird, we don't care.
Yeah, this show is, from what I'm seeing, like, what you're telling me about this show, it's kind of giving me, okay. Before Hades, Supergiant put out a game called Pyre.
Yes, 100%, buddy. 100%.
Yeah, it's giving me Pyre kind of vibes. And, like, Pyre was one of the ones that, like, almost, like, it flopped because nobody was ready for, like, what if fantasy basketball? And it's like, no, we should be ready for that. That seems like a cool idea. But... yeah, like this is the kind of thing.
I mean, it was also a French cartoon. Droners. It also reminds me of that, of just like, what if we just took things that exist in the real world and then went, yeah, but it's fantasy now, and we're doing weird stuff with it.
That's
you know, when I look at a lot of the cartoons that are coming out these days, it's not that there's no fantasy at all, but it tends to be, I don't want to say more grounded, but just less kind of like whimsical, less.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like it tends to be more, ooh, we want to think things through. We want to have a logic to this, or, well, it needs to be about like good versus evil, and this show just kind of isn't that.
That's cool.
And so all that's
Yeah, I like that actually, and that's. You're right. We need a lot more shows that just kind of like they aren't about the big concept of like good versus evil, or like not everything has to be like a world ending situation. Like, what if we just played soccer? What if with magic powers? That's cool. Like like that. Honestly, the best thing about the Harry Potter franchise is Quidditch. Quidditch is such an interesting thing. You could have done a whole series in Quidditch and fucked off with everything else, and like that would have been good. I can't even name anything else that would have like that's got that, like, what a fantasy sport, you know.
Dodgeball Academy, I think it's called, little indie game that
yes,
real good.
I have played that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, yeah,
I
like that.
But so getting back to the story and characters, I won't necessarily go through the whole story, but essentially Key gets to Cal Astarock. CL also ends up joining him. So Key, hasn't mastered his powers, but Sugoi wants him to become the Dragon Striker, which it just seems to be the sort of primary player on the team, the Dragons. So initially there are only 4 teams, so those teams are the dragons, the bards, the shadows, and the roses. And so, the dragons are all about just sort of real powerhouse, destructive, charge ahead abilities. The bards are kind of more, let's say, like, I don't want to say sneaky, but like their kind of key player was supposed to be, although he ended up on the roses. His powers involve kind of the sun and blinding his opponents. Oddward, he was previously part of the bards. His ability is he can basically make sort of like holograms of himself or others. So all of a sudden there could be 5 Oddwords running at you down the pitch. Oh no, which one is real?
Oh no.
There's the 2 twins with the magnetic powers. The shadows, they are your spooky goths, so they just have weird spooky powers. And then the roses are your plant power based users. So I'm gonna use vines to pop up out of the ground and block the ball or trip you over, whatever it is.
Yeah, of course.
But he gets there. Ragno hates him because he is the current Dragon Striker, doesn't want to get replaced. He's struggling to maintain his powers. Throughout all this, they then have these trials. And like another moment was during the trials where I went, oh man, that's awesome. I love this show because there's, let me see if I can find their name. So, and she's only in like the 2 episodes. So one is the trials, and then one is like very briefly in another episode. A character called Scotty Savarog, who I'm pretty sure is inspired by a One Piece character because her ability is she can control and make ice.
Sure, yeah. Except
she is missing part of an arm and a leg. And so she uses these ice abilities to compensate for her disability. It's like, man, that's what, like,
that's cool.
So there's a One Piece character who's done that for, I don't know, probably a decade now. God, I can't remember his name. He's like a big character, a former admiral.
Yeah.
Kuzan, I want to say. But being like, oh my God, they made a sport anime and still found a way to have a character with a disability be like a player in it.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I was like, I never would have seen that coming in 1,000 years. But basically, he ends up failing the trials. But Ciel manages to pass. He's obviously torn up about it, but very supportive of Ciel.
Yeah.
She gets 2 offers. I think it's from the Roses and the Dragons, I want to say. It doesn't matter, but she turns them both down, and instead, her and Key, they're going to resurrect the Knights. It turns out there's secretly a 5th team that can play in Cal Astaroth.
I see.
And this is another part, like, sometimes the writing in this is weird, where you're like, what do you mean? In a world where Key talks about the idea of he knows all these legendary players, he knows all these legendary matches. I think he even mentions having trading cards.
Okay.
You're telling me he doesn't know about this legendary 5th team that admittedly I think disappeared I think they say something like 200 years ago. So it's been a while, but still kind of weird to not know about it. That is when they go and end up recruiting Milo, who Milo is this sort of in a different cartoon, he would basically be the big dumb bruiser character. Instead, he's not dumb. He's smart. He's emotional, but he's also very sensitive. His powers are basically jelly cubes. He can make jelly cubes.
All right.
And then they end up recruiting his. God, are they brothers or cousins? As they Oddward. I want to look and see. I want to say they're. Wow, this is a bad wiki. Okay, they're siblings.
Yes.
So Milo is Oddward's younger brother. That's right. So they end up recruiting Milo because he had a falling out with Casper Ferrero of the Bard. So they used to play together. And they were lovers. They were gay lovers. Tristan, the show is woke. It's got disabled people. It's got gay people.
DEI hires.
They're trying to indoctrinate our kids.
I love me a DEI hire,
French.
so you know.
But yeah, Casper, a real jerk. Oddward, correct to dump his ass. Still has feelings for him though. But so Milo, because he's lost his team, he ends up joining them, and then Ameline joins them, and she's this tiny bookish girl.
Just looking at Ameline, I think that's like a very much one of my favorite character looking characters.
So
just a big helmet.
Her ability is that she can basically like get near a person and then sort of just like suck the power out of them, except it turns into like this little spirit thing that then if she like basically just keeps it inside her mouth, so she kind of just for as long as she keeps inside their mouth, they just don't have their powers. Now once
she's Kirby?
No.
No, hold on. You just said.
Sorry. Okay. Yes. She is Kirby if Kirby couldn't swallow.
Okay,
so when Kirby goes into his like puffed up state, essentially, she's like that where, she has, because I think she also can't breathe. I think she has to hold her breath as well.
I see.
So for as long as she does that, person loses their powers, which, as you can imagine, if, say, the other team's main striker is about to try and use their ability to go for like a power move, and she kind of just goes denied.
Yes.
Real good defending ability.
I'd say so.
So I won't talk to we'll get to the story towards the end. I won't talk too much about it. I do want to talk about the visuals of this show, which is to say it is gorgeous. Just the general animation I really like. I love the way the knights look.
Everything's got a really nice style to it.
I would say all 5 of the teams I think look really good.
Yes, they're quite on point for each. Like, I'm looking through the team artwork right now. Like each one has a very distinct style, so you know which team they're on. I like that a lot.
It does, and the other thing I like too is it's kind of a thing you rarely get to see in media, which is, what would fantasy sport attire look like?
Yeah.
We got a little bit of that with Legend of Korra and
the Fire Ferrets. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that sport called?
God. Shit. I can't remember
like
what it's called now.
Bend ball.
Something like that.
I remember. Like we got a little bit of that in it. But like, there's something that's just really cool about the
pro bending arena.
Pro bending. That's it.
Pro bending.
There's just something that's really cool about this idea of like, well, okay, imagine, sports attire, shorts and jerseys, except you need to make them look sort of fantasy and night-like. And I just think this nails it, and it makes me go,
oh yeah,
man, what if we let sports teams go buck wild and invent some just real weird new looking uniforms and stuff, right? Wouldn't that be crazy?
They're pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah. But like also just even outside of like their appearance. I like a good diversity of character sort of sizes and looks to it. There are like the bards, I would say, so especially their coach, Surya Sunspear, definitely has sort of African, sort of Northern Africa, Middle East, Mediterranean sort of influences to him. So it's not just sort of, European, Dark Ages through to Renaissance style. It has these other styles going on out of characters. And I really like to see in an era where I don't want to fully blame it, but where it feels like Family Guy kind of created a certain art style format that so much North American animation uses now. Not just in terms of sort of the very like flat, lack of shading to characters, but even and it's weird because Family Guy has a good diversity of sort of character shapes to it, but all the shows that have come after it, it just feels like all the characters have this same body shape and same look. To have this show up and like characters of varying heights and widths, and like Key's dad has that thing where like his nose is just a different color to the rest of his head.
Yes.
I'm sure there's some like animation term for that.
Probably not. This is design.
Like, I really like it because it makes him super unique, and to stand out in a way that like, oh, this man is just very different from anybody else. I'm trying to look it up and see what is. Oh, yes, his father's name is Dino, Dino Nagatatsu. Good Italian first name, real Japanese second name for some reason. Don't know.
Why not?
Yeah. That is one thing. The world of this, even though very clearly with the names and some of the character designs, it's like, well, yes, this is clearly supposed to be taking inspiration from, Japan. This is clearly supposed to be Europe. It doesn't ever try and like do that and lay it down of like, here is, very clearly fantasy Russia, or here is clearly fantasy Japan. Because again, it doesn't really explain much of the world, but even the bits it does, I like it doesn't try and do that. It keeps its own thing without trying to just go, oh, we've made, oh man, I'm reading this wiki and they're 100% right. His father really looks like Wario. There's a lot of Wario in his look. And that's a good one. Like the way that Wario's nose is very different colored, that's what his dad is like. And I really like that.
Yeah.
But then also, man, sometimes you could tell these French animators were like, we are going to, really flex our muscles and really get to enjoy what we're doing. There's this, it would be episode 4, the fifth banner. So this is where they're having the ceremony. They're introducing the teams that are going to take part in this year's Cal Astaroth Gorotama tournament. And so it's all these students in this hall with this big fire in the middle, and it is just visually gorgeously lit. And it's got it's got some really good music in this show too. I really like the main sort of orchestral theme it uses, and this is swelling and just some quality animation happening. I was like, man, that's another thing. Not to be all like, oh, cartoons today suck, because they don't. There are fantastic cartoons like this.
Yes.
But that's another thing. North American cartoons just don't really do much anymore, it feels like, is have those scenes and moments where, hey, we definitely spent more of the budget on this. We really wanted to make this moment be quality animation and just not oh, it's going to look visually different to the rest of, you know, the show, but just we are going to put a, you know, not just sort of a higher level of detail into things, but we are going to go for very cinematic angles and shots. Like, I really enjoyed last year, I think it was last year, maybe it was even this year it came out, Haunted Hotel on Netflix. I think that show's good. It's fun.
Okay.
But at no point does it ever, you know, really go into a very cinematic angle and look of things and really just, you know, be animation for the sake of animation, to show off techniques and styles and be art for art's sake.
I gotcha.
But this show has that at times, and man, when it does it, I genuinely think it's one of the at times best looking shows.
Cool.
I might say ever. Like, I'd really
Okay.
put some of those scenes, some of the moments up there for how good they look and
Fair enough.
the work they do at making it artistic.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's a high selling point, to be honest. Like, this is massive praise for their art style. I see it now.
I'm gonna quickly see if you can. It might not be in Google. I tried to see if it's, or YouTube. I don't know.
It's gotta be on YouTube.
Probably you can find it up.
Yeah.
You can find it somewheres on there. Yeah, but like if you can just find the scene of the banner ceremony, let me try that one. If you can just find that, just watching it is worth it for, oh damn, this looks so good. They have done and it's also, I think something that despite the fact that we have been, you know, making this kind of media and movies and television of all sorts for over 100 years, music tends to not be used as well as it should be to build a scene. Movies generally pretty good. TV shows kind of
He doesn't get it, for some reason.
But it's also it's using the music and the pace of it and the way that moments transition so well during the scene and in other moments too. It's not just this scene. There are other ones that I think are fantastically animated.
You know
that
what's sad?
It's just like, man, this scene hits in a way that you don't get a whole lot of.
You know what's interesting and kind of sad. So speak just on the topic of TV not really understanding how to use music at times. I think back and like besides like very specific musical episodes of like The Simpsons or whatever it is. I think the only show I can think of that really got how to use music in the show without it being a musical was Supernatural.
Never watched it, but interesting.
So yeah, weirdly enough. So basically, it's good at incorporating. So it's got that like classic rock styling to everything. And usually by the series, like by the season finale, when they're going like they're charging into the bad guy's base and like doing the crazy shit, like they have like a good use of like whatever rock song they want to put on there. Highway to Hell, etc. Whatever they're using for that episode. But they like, this is how we're going to use the music, and like we got this very specific styling for it, and like they feature rock and roll songs in the show, just kind of in the background. But then when they like amp it up, it's like, yeah, we're using it in a very specific kind of way. It's one of the better examples I can think of, actually.
I guess
you're right.
like, I think to just refine it a little bit of what we're both saying, it's not that shows are necessarily bad. Because I'm looking back at like some of the shows that I've liked, and I think about things like The Wild Pack or Craig the Creek, and I think those shows use music really well for sort of lighter moments, more fun moments. But when it comes to big dramatic stuff and having the music kind of properly crescendo and really fit a dramatic tone, they just don't do as good a job. I think Arcane certainly did a good job.
Sure.
Actually, I think My Adventure with Superman, the and the real chanting one they have, I think that song does a really good job. But other than that song, I think in general it's maybe not the best. But yeah, I think this show does a really good job when it comes to kind of using dramatic music, and having the beats line up in a way that really just enhances, sort of a scene where banners are being raised, and having just sort of the timing of the two, the visual and the music line up in ways really, really good. Not a whole lot more to say about the show other than, leaping to essentially the last episode, skipping a bunch of it, because again, I don't, there's no need to go through each individual moment and episode and blah, blah, blah. They're all good. All the episodes are good, worth it. We're getting to the last episode. So, 5 teams. So at this point, the Knights have faced the Roses and the Shadows. Now they're going up against the Bards. So,
okay. Yep.
If you could count, you might have noticed something. Don't worry, I'll call it out if you haven't caught on. But they're going up against the Bards. During this, he has sort of learned somewhat to control his Tama, but Ciel, who is the captain, wants him to hold back in the first half. It's basically saying, don't use it, let's save it for the second half.
Yeah.
Second half, he goes to use his Tama, and he's and his dad showed up, so he's like kind of emotionally, I don't want to say distraught, but he's feeling a lot of powerful emotions, trying to impress his dad, trying to so his mother had passed away as a kid, trying to live up to her. He found out that she used to be a gorotama player. And basically they get the best of him, and so as per episode 1, he has a very powerful Tama. Like when his Tama kind of breaks out, it is like a multi-tall story blue sort of spirit energy dragon. He goes and uses it, scores a goal, but in doing so really damages the pitch, but also causes an injury to Casper, who seems to be like, I forget which half, but about half of his body seems to have been severely burned by it.
Ooh, okay.
So he sort of ends up freaking out, running away. That is when the Sunspear coach confronts him, starts shouting at him, saying, the reason I don't like you and hate your mother isn't because back in the day that she beat me in Cal Astaroth tournament when we were kids. It's because her Tama, the same one you seem to have, went wild, and he sort of like, so he too seems to have sort of, let's say, hologram powers, kind of similar to Oddward.
Okay.
And his like half his face is messed up. And that's basically where it ends. Is then just Keith's dad kind of shows up and he's like, "Let me tell you about your mom." End. After episode 11. So
all right.
the worst part about this show is this is not a full season. They call this season 1. It is not season 1. It is more like season 1 first half.
Oh no. Okay.
So they have already confirmed that they're making a season 2.
Yeah.
Which that was also very, as somebody who basically binge watched this show over a couple of days and then was like, is this actually all there is? Are like more episodes coming in a couple months? Because it just it does not feel like a proper seasonal arc. It does not feel like it ends on a proper note for a season. To me, that those parts of it very frustrating, very disappointing to just have it kind of go like, oh, we're ending on this cliffhanger. It's like, no, that's not how a cliffhanger works. That's not how this is ending. This wasn't an obvious build up kind of situation. It does not feel like it's a satisfactory, intriguing thing. It just feels like this feels like an episode 1 of a 2-episode thing we have to deal with. What the heck, guys? And I don't know who is to necessarily blame on that, whether it's Disney, whether it's the actual French animation studio. But I think it sucks that they're calling this a season 1 and leaving us because let me see. All they've said is early 2027. So at the very least,
all right,
looking at roughly another 6 months until at the earliest to get a resolution to some of this. I think that sucks.
It does suck, yes. That sounds like possibly the problem of a small French animation studio. Maybe, but like also could be a distribution problem from Disney. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked. So I don't know who to blame, but whoever it is should have fixed that. Look, Disney, you've got the money. You should have just said, "Hey, we've got confidence in this show. It seems good. We think it'll succeed. Let's hold it back for 5 months or whatever, and let's wait until we have a real true first season to put it out." I could also see some of it is the show debuted June 9th, 2026. Now, Tristan, do you recall anything else important that might have happened around June? The FIFA World Cup, Tristan. I definitely think that is part of the reason why it came out, and they perhaps didn't hold it back. Was they went, "Hey, we want to put out a show about football." Well, everybody's real hot and bothered about football.
Yeah, for some reason, my timeline for FIFA, I thought it started around like early July. But yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That said, I don't think they did a very good job of capitalizing on that, to my knowledge.
No?
They weren't. Maybe they were running commercials during it. I don't know, but they, as far as I'm aware, did not have sort of as business grads would call it, activations, right? As far as I'm aware, they didn't have, people in costumes outside the stadiums trying to be like, "Check it out, kids. Here's this show about football. You should have your kids watch," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if that was part of it, it
Mhm.
seems like you just shouldn't have bothered because you didn't do anything to actually take advantage of that, which honestly was a surprise because I'm watching this and I'm going, man, I bet Disney is going to try and push this thing so hard during the World Cup and, try and do some stuff to like, I don't know, have some like major player like hanging out talking about it or something and just nothing. It's like, that's so weird and such a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I can only imagine that in France, this show is being like pushed real hard for kids.
Could be, yeah.
Because like, come on, like France has a lot of stakes in good old football, right? Like,
yes,
big football country. I mean, like we're basically, it just comes down to North America, and I just mean like Canada and the United States, that are like not as into like football, and it's just like we gotta we've now kind of joined that fervor at this point, which is good, but like, yeah, this is a big deal, and France, like every other European country, is like, yeah, football's the best. Because yeah, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, but I mean, I would love to see this show take off and get big because.
So as we were talking, I've watched a couple of clips on YouTube just to kind of check out the anime. You're right. This is gorgeous. This is
yes, it's gorgeous. Like,
yeah.
I want. We were kind of talking about. I want this show to replace the like, which Harry Potter house are you, and become the like, which Gorotama team would you play for?
Yeah. I mean, how about I guess it'd be. I would like to go Shadows personally.
Okay, all right.
I'm a spooky kid at heart.
Yeah, they're. I should say they're spooky, but then they're also like initially the captain is. I can't believe this is her actual name.
Oh,
Peregrina.
Freaks, yeah.
And her thing is, she can control ghosts. And then, like, there's another player, Freki Savarog. He's just a werewolf.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's just a werewolf. He could just turn into a wolf when he wants.
Why not?
But then there's also
the lady with the big hair.
Dio Pinecontis, I want to say
Dionysus's name.
Yeah. If that's the character, he's just a little gremlin guy.
Yeah.
Just this little.
We love us a little gremlin here.
Gremlin guy. So I could see. Or no, sorry, that's the roses.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good too.
God, what? Yeah, I can't think what his name is. It might be Griffin. I forget, but yeah, just this little guy. It's like, yeah, I want people to have those discussions and just be like, no, I'm totally goth. I'm down with the shadows. And the people are like, no, I love, nature. I'm the roses. Like, forget Harry Potter houses. This show should be so much bigger, and that should be the thing we're all discussing. God damn it.
Sure. I mean, I think at this point as a society, we've mostly moved beyond Harry Potter houses. I know. Some people are still into that shit. Some people are.
It's more than some. I got some bad news for you.
I know it's a lot more than some, but and it's not as widely talked about these days. Honestly, I see a lot more discussion about the D&D alignment chart than Harry Potter houses. So, just saying.
You're lucky. I think that might be an algorithm thing because I definitely still see a lot of Harry Potter talk.
That sucks. Maybe you should stop being all into Harry Potter.
I mean, look, J.K. Rowling sucks, but Harry Potter is a fun world.
Harry Potter's all right.
Can't deny that. I get why people. I like it. I get why people like it.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Dragon Striker, fantastic. I am super excited for season 2, aka season 1, part 2 when it comes out. Really hope it gets more than that, and that this ends up being a multi-season thing. And that's about all I have to say.
Cool. I like that this shows all the goaltenders all have big gloves. That's fun.
Yes.
Big fan of big gloves. I need characters with either big pants, big jacket, or big glove. one of those. Big shoe is out of the question. Do not fucking give me big shoe. I will cut you. Big hat is fine though. I'll give you a big hat.
Okay.
Especially if they're a witch. Witch with really big
That's
hat
fair.
is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, try to wrap this up. You can find us on Blue Sky, which is at EIFNAR. That's our handle. You can go there and tell us how much you like Dragon Striker. I bet you will really enjoy it if you haven't watched it. I from what I've seen on the couple of YouTube clips that I watched on my phone just recently, which I keep forgetting I could just do as we're talking. It's really pretty. Is it the most gorgeous thing that I've seen this year so far? No. But that's a future episode.
Interesting.
Yes. You also go to our Spotify, iTunes accounts. Rate something, leave a review if you can. Tell your friends about us. Go to our YouTube page and like and or subscribe. One of the two. You don't get a choice on whether or not you want to do both. It's one of the two.
Okay. All right.
If you want to do both, then that's a secret between you and me, and I won't tell anybody. You should go to our friends search DJDane.com. That's the guy that does our music. DJDane.com. And if you want to, I think you should join his gorotama team. I don't know what team that is. He's yet to form it, but
I don't think he has magic power, so he'll probably die. But he'll have fun. It seems like a good sport.
It seems likely. It seems likely if you don't have magic powers, you will die in gorotama. However, I believe in him and every of his other player that also does not have magic powers entering this horrifying sport where you'll likely die. Godspeed to all of you. Maybe bring a gun. I don't know. It seems like a leave in the score.
But no, that probably counts as like handball or something.
Fine, I guess. Bring a battle axe. I don't know. Something to even the playing field.
No, you're not allowed outside equipment like that.
Shit. Well, never mind then. What if the outside equipment is built into? What if you are, say, my gorotama is I produce an axe. I produce a shotgun. It's like that's
yeah,
my
might be
that's my
allowed.
power.
I'm not sure.
Well, that is it for our show. Tune in next time for Ealdorman episode of Everything's Fine is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it.